Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. In this episode today, we're going to be counting down the top 5 non-leader Zeta abilities. As the same in previous installments of this series, I will be giving an overview of the characters Zeta, and we will be discussing the pros and cons of not only the Zeta, but the character also. So without any further waiting, let's start the top 5 non-leadership Zetas. Starting things off at number 5 is Grandmaster Yoda. The Zeta on his battle meditation is without a doubt the rarest used Zeta on this list today. So let's have a look what a Zeta battle meditation does. This special ability has a 4-turn cooldown. Yoda gains tenacity up and foresight for 2 turns, then grants each other ally every positive status effect he has for 2 turns, with a 40% chance to also grant Yoda 35% turn meter. The big difference the Zeta upgrade is making is reducing the cooldown of battle meditation to 4 and adding foresight. Once Yoda's battle meditation has been Zeta'd, this really does make him viable in any team of the arena. The foresight and tenacity up that Yoda can apply can really be an opening game changer. However, Yoda cannot cleanse, and his greatest enemy is the shock and buff immunity. Shock can famously be applied by Emperor Palpatine and Count Dooku. Buff immunity can famously be applied by B2 Super Battle Droid and TIE Fighter Pilot. If any of these 2 debuffs were applied to Yoda, Yoda will not be able to give himself foresight or tenacity, meaning he also will not be able to spread it to the entire team. Yoda overall as a character, I would rate him a 4 out of 10. Yoda is in a real need of a buff so he can be his own character. Nevertheless, the reason Yoda is on this list today is because his battle meditation is just a really good ability and can be used in any team within the game. But the character himself is really lacking versus most teams, especially a Zeta Maul team where he really does rely on a Qui-Gon Jinn Zeta lead that's going to provide an opening foresight and speed to compete against the current metas in the game. But this is mostly down to the character needing a buff, as he really does not hit hard at all and has a really low health pool. In at number 4 we have Darth Sidious. The Zeta on Sadistic Glee really turns a squishy Sidious into a tanky Sidious. Let's have a look at his Zeta unique. Sidious recovers 20% of his max health and gains 50% turn meter whenever any unit is defeated. In addition, he has a plus 35% evasion against Jedi attacks, plus 50% potency, and gains max health equal to his potency percentage. Sidious can apply healing immunity, which is quite an important negative effect at the moment within this game. This debuff is the Achilles heel for so many great heroes and villains. He can also apply expose and damage over time, but to apply this character is going to need some potency. Potency will also increase the max health on this character. For an example, if this character had 100% potency, excluding any mods, and at gear 11, this character would have over 30,000 max health. Sidious is not as universal as some characters in this game, and he really is best suited to teams that benefit from him either applying expose or damage over time. This would be in teams like a Zeta Darth Vader or even a Zeta Finn Resistance team. Sidious is a great character for a lot of different game modes, so you could really use him under the Vader lead, or you could use him as his own leadership in the AAT. Overall, I would rate Darth Sidious a 6 out of 10. At number 3 we have Barris. Like Sidious before her, she again has a unique Zeta ability. But this time, this Zeta unique is kind of like a leadership and affects the entire team. At the end of each of her turns, Barris dispels all debuffs from the debuffed ally with the lowest health and gains 10% turn meter for each effect removed. Whenever an ally is critically hit, that ally recovers 20% of their max health and Barris gains 10% turn meter. This effect is disabled while Barris is defeated. Barris does not hit very hard, neither is she a fast overall character, but the way she compensates for this is being an automatic cleanser and a powerful healer. Barris is a very universal character and performs consistently at the same level in any team within this game. The tankier the allies, the more benefit this Zeta will be. Barris' biggest weakness is Darth Maul in more forms than one. Healing immunity and shock will put a stop to this Zeta unique on healing upon critical hits. This Zeta unique is good to own, but like Yoda, it is not a must own. Overall, I would give Barris a 7 out of 10. In at number 2, we have Darth Nihilus. This character is currently one of the best characters in game, and his Zeta unique takes him to a whole new level. At the start of each of his turns, Nihilus inflicts damage over time for 2 turns on a random enemy that doesn't have any debuffs. If all enemies are debuffed, inflict damage over time on a random enemy. Once the Zeta is applied at the start of each of the enemy turn, Nihilus inflicts health down on them for 2 turns. You may be thinking, how is health down a good Zeta unique? For each enemy that takes a turn, health down is applied to them, which is a 20% deduction from their max health. But this isn't the reason why this Zeta is on this list. Nihilus can dispel on his basic, and for each enemy that has their buffs removed, this reduces the cooldown of Drain Force by 1. Drain Force increases the cooldown of the enemy by 1 and decreases Annihilate for each enemy affected. Drain Force cannot be resisted if the enemy has a debuff present, but Drain Force however can be evaded. This Zeta unique allows Nihilus to be his very own character that does not rely on Sith or any other debuffing characters. This unique will carry this character from this meta to the next. The biggest weakness to this Zeta is cleansers, but I would still score this character, Darth Nihilus, a 10 out of 10. At number 1, we have Kylo Ren. This Zeta is applied to his special ability, Outrage. Outrage deals physical damage to the target enemy, and if Coilo has full health, inflicts stun for 1 turn. This attack deals 75% more damage if Coilo is below full health. This Zeta special ability recovers protection equal to the damage dealt. Combined with his unique Unstoppable, this really allows Kylo Ren to take on multiple enemies at one time. The weakness to this Zeta is healing immunity. This is the only debuff that currently stops protection regain. Other noteworthy weaknesses are stun and ability blocks. Coilo on defense uses Outrage at a lower rate and tends to favor his area of effect attack, Lash Out. This is a major drawback because ideally you want to be using Outrage as much as possible. With user control, this character really becomes the closest thing to Superman in Star Wars. He can just about go anywhere. He can attack and retreat the entire phase 1 of the heroic AAT. But please be aware, I am sure this is unintended and will probably be fixed at a later date. Coilo fits perfectly in a First Order team or any random team within the game. This character is definitely like Nihilus and a 10 out of 10. So do you agree with this top 5 or do you have a different top 5? Let me know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video then please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching today. I'm thesmithied. May the Force be with you always.